Hi, good morning. In this lecture, we will continue with our discussion on Shakespeare. We were discussing the reasons for his universality, his timelessness, and some of the reasons we have already discussed. And the other reasons for his universality are, for example, we get reflections of biblical doctrines, biblical philosophies, ideologies, teachings in his work. For example, these are the lines, and it also seems that Shakespeare has imbibed and inculcated the essence, the spirit of some of the famous quotes, some of the famous philosophies, or the practical, pragmatic philosophy of the Bible. Okay, so for example, the lines of Gospel of Saint Matthew: "Judge not that you may not be judged. Judge not that you be not judged. For that what judgment you judge, you shall be judged, and with what measure you meet, it shall be measured to you." So here the line says that be non-judgmental, we don't be judgmental. Means आप जैसे दूसरों को जज करेंगे, दूसरे आपको उसी तरीके से जज करेंगे. तो ये इन अ वे ये लाइन का ये मतलब है कि आपको टोटल एक्सेप्टेंस होना चाहिए, नॉन अनकंडीशनल एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ सिचुएशन, सर्कमस्टांसेस, पीपल. Okay, so that is the philosophy, because we are also infallible, we are also human beings, we are not infallible, we have also certain limitations, certain drawbacks, certain demerits. Knowing that, we have to be very accommodating towards others. So this is the philosophy, and these lines may be compared with lines from Measure for Measure, where it says, "Man, proud man, dress in a little brief authority." See how means the authority, whatever authority, power, position we have, these things are transitory, these things are very temporary in nature, very transient in nature. Okay, it's not permanent. So that man, proud man, how, and we become, you can say this arrogance comes, ego comes because of all these transitory positions. So यहाँ पे शेक्सपियर का कहना है, मैन, प्राउड मैन, ड्रेस इन ए लिटिल ब्रीफ ऑथोरिटी. ऑथोरिटी इज ब्रीफ, मोस्ट इग्नोरेंट ऑफ व्हाट ही इज assured. We become oblivious of, we become unknown of our higher aims, higher ambitions, where we have to go, what is assured. His glassy essence, like an angry ape, plays such fantastic tricks before high heaven as make the angels weep. Even God is shocked to see that how he created human beings in his own image, and how they are deviated or distracted from their path, how they are indulged in useless unproductive activity. ईश्वर भी कहते हैं. तो ये हिंदी में कहावत है ना, आए थे हरिभजन को ओटन लगे कपास. तो यही बात यहाँ पे भी होती है कि आए थे किसी और काम के, लग गए किसी और काम में. तो यहाँ पे कह रहे हैं कि एंड इवन एंजल्स वीप. So this line shows that how Shakespeare appears to be very, shocked to see the contemporary situation, and more or less situation is same even now in our society. That inhumanity, man's inhumanity, the baseness, the narrowness, how human values have deteriorated. Okay, so these things we can relate. Means he says that the charity, tolerance, acceptance, compassion, affection, all these things are the eternal cardinal values, and these things should be inculcated in our life. And the opposites of these things, like invigilacy, intolerance, anger, revenge, all these things must be shunned at any cost to live a life. So these two lines, the first two lines, the first, man, proud man, dressed in little brief authority, means the transitoriness of these positions, these worldly or physical positions we have. It reminds me of another great lines by Thomas Gray, elegy written in country churchyard. The lines go like that: "The boast of heraldry, the pomp of power, and all that beauty, all the wealth ever gave, awaits like an inevitable hour." Whatever we have, whatever beauty, wealth, whatever means the worldly things we have, these things are temporary, these things are not permanent. Okay, and the ultimate faith is it will end. It is not going to last. It is not eternal. So our quest should be something which is eternal, which is something which is permanent. Okay, so that should be means our focus. We should not. So that the paths of glory lead but to the grave. how it means ignorantly people we indulge in the something temporary by hook or by crook, by fair or by foul, means we try to achieve certain things in life. So here he said, so again there is a line in Measure for Measure where the Mariana is a character, he says, they say best men are molded by out of faults. The fault and the most and for the most become much more better for being a little bad. So it is again, see the accepting nature of Shakespeare, how accommodating he is. Okay, means it is our faults, it is our mistakes, it is our shortcomings, means fault. Okay, will be better, which makes us more mature. Okay, it helps us in to evolve as a person. जब हम गलतियां करते हैं तो गलतियों से सीखते हैं. जो आदमी गलती नहीं करेगा वो सीख नहीं सकता. इसीलिए कहते हैं कि they say the best men are molded by faults. जितने भी सुपर अचीवर्स होते हैं, the best man, okay, they have committed more mistakes and they have learned from mistakes. That's what he is telling. So we have to be accommodating. Again he says we have to be accepting. Forgiveness, that's what we discussed in last video, is the essence, is the very dominant philosophy of Shakespeare's work, where he says that we should be forgiving one other. Okay, so here is say another important theme, or we can say the reasons for Shakespeare's immense popularity is his treatment of love, his concept of love, his means approach towards love. Okay, so love is one of the fundamental instincts of man, shared by, he believes, Shakespeare, shared by both kings living in palaces and the peasants, the poor, the pauper, living in huts, living in chawls. So this is something universal. And in Shakespeare work we find that especially in comedies where even the kings, queens, they also fall in love, and the minor characters, they have also their relationships love. So Shakespeare celebrates love. It is something eternal, something universal. Okay, it is not some that only the people from, say, the upper class or people from the king or royal background will have love. So this is the means, and Shakespeare realizes this supreme truth, that, and it is also one of the, as I have already mentioned, this one of the potent reasons, one of the powerful reasons for his popularity. Okay, means as we know that in modern age and in all ages it has been there, the sex, bed trick, intrigue, debauchery, okay, vulgarity, obscenity, all these things have their appeal for the modern mind, but not the readers of all time. And these things have a very temporary appeal. It is not something timeless, it is not something permanent. Okay, and the kind of love Shakespeare discusses in his work, it is something permanent, it will remain. Okay, means it was there, it is there, and it will be there. So I will take example of one of his sonnets where he gives a beautiful example of love. Okay, in all comedies we find that at ends in, okay, happy ending is there. Okay, the celebration of love is there. There is a marriage, multiple marriages are there. So this shows the Shakespeare's concept of love. The marriages of let not the marriage of true minds. There is a one sonnet. Let not the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love which alters when alteration finds. See the line. Love is not love which alters. It is something unchanging. It is something eternal. Okay, it is not going to succumb. It is not going to surrender to the. It is not going to yield to the temptations of temporary temptations. Okay, it is something eternal. Okay, it is going to withstand the temptations of time, the test of time. Okay, there may be adverse situations, circumstances. There may be some, misconceptions or whatever we say, but it will remain. It is not going to, break. Love is not that fragile. ये love इतना fragile नहीं है. Love जो है सो इटर्नल है, ये कहना है. लव इज नॉट लव. वो लव ही क्या है जो कि अल्टर हो जाता है, चेंज कर जाता है कुछ बाहरी चीजों के इसमें आकर करके, ये कहते हैं. और बेंड्स विद द रिमूवर्स टू रिमूव, or oh no, it is an ever fixed mind. It is something eternal, it is something permanent. Okay, it is something which is not going to change. That looks on tempest and is never second. Tempest is what? The adverse situations and circumstances of life, the unfavorable situations and circumstances of life, the testing, taxing situations and circumstances of that is the tempest of life. So love is not going to suppose today you are rich, so the true love, doesn't see this. You are rich, people will be in love with you, and once you are poor, so they are going to ditch and desert you. It's not there. They will remain in all the situations, be it happy or pleasant, happy or unhappy situation. That is the concept of love. Such means Shakespeare gives means love, true love always be means it is something irrespective, it is unconditional, he says. So this is the concept of Shakespeare's love. Love is all inclusive. Okay, love is something, you can say this, it is the highest virtue in life. Okay, and it is the very basic of human existence. It seems that Shakespeare is propounding this. So with this, again we will be continuing our discussion on Shakespeare's. Thank you. Shakespeare's other features. Thank you.